Welcome to CRJ 151. This week we're taking a look at Chapter 8, which explores marijuana, LSD, and club drugs. Now, the objective of the chapter is really to make the appeals and the possible dangers of marijuana, LSD, and the club drugs where one can understand it, and to also spell out the different social characteristics of the most typical users of those particular drugs. Now, marijuana is by far the most popular illicit drug both worldwide and in the United States. Roughly 100 million people in the United States have at least tried marijuana, and of those, about 15 million have used it within the past 30 days. Now, surveys indicate that among school children, the use of marijuana is as high, or maybe even higher, today than it was in the 1990s. Now, with respect to toxicity, the drug is extremely safe. It is almost impossible to die of a marijuana overdose. The drug does, however, cause discoordination, very similar to alcohol. Now, a substantial amount of research has investigated the possible chronic harm of marijuana, and with the exception of a decline in pulmonary function, researchers really have not yet definitively established the drug's pathological effect. Age, peer contacts, and unconventionality strongly influence the use of marijuana. Now, the use of marijuana is strongly statistically related to the most of the more dangerous drugs, which of course is the same for alcohol. But researchers disagree as to the cause of this drug progression and moving from one substance to another. It's likely that the socio-cultural and the predispositional factors might determine that relationship rather than the pharmacological effects of the drug. Now, when we look at LSD, which is an hallucinogenic drug, it profoundly alters one's consciousness, and it's fairly episodically used. Now, the drug does not cause any genetic damage, as far as we know, as was once claimed, and then certain psychotic episodes tend to be rather rare. Now, the use of club drugs such as ecstasy, GHB, rohypnol, and ketamine, as well as their harms, have at times been exaggerated by the media. Their use actually declined in the early 2000s, and they pose a fairly small threat to adolescents and young adults. Now, next week, or next time, we'll get into Chapter 9, which explores a different category of drugs. It looks at stimulants, which include amphetamine, methamphetamine, cocaine, and crack.